Hi everyone, I'm Arnold.
I'm Samantha
and welcome to Weekend Brain.
आज हम बात करने वाले हैं आई की, नहीं आपकी आई नहीं, मेरी भी आई नहीं, AI की.
Yeah, that's pretty much I think where India is on the AI game.
Yeah.
It is.
Didn't the PM say?
और मैं तो कभी कभी मजाक में कहता हूँ हमारे देश में माँ को आई बोलते हैं. अब मैं कहता हूँ हमारे यहाँ बच्चा पैदा होता है तो आई भी बोलता है, AI भी बोलता है. वो इतना एडवांस हो गया है.
Wow, genius. The one time our PM spoke Marathi. Sorry, our honorable PM. We love our government.
Yeah.
We absolutely love it.
Yeah.
We don't like this place that we're shooting in New Zealand to be broken down. So
See
our
the
government.
fluffy cats, you only find them in
New Zealand, yes. We are nowhere around India.
Alright, so talking about AI, there has been a big uproar on the Ghibli content. I don't know how it's pronounced first of all, whether it's Ghibli or Ghibli. Please let us know in the comments below.
I just read about it today. I mean, I'm off social media, so honestly, I was living under a rock until I was given something to do with this podcast. And I was like, what? So I heard about Ghibli art today. Tell me if you have any.
So like before this whole uproar started and I saw these pictures come up and I was like, okay, maybe someone's made a new, what's it called, filter. And then I saw people posting about where the artist himself says, he speaks about AI and he's like, AI doesn't have soul and like, my art cannot be made without soul and without time and without patience. He's known to be like this really...
Anti-AI.
Not anti-AI, but stickler for perfection.
Got
So
it.
he's like, you don't get that soul into anything, and which I think is true also to
With
some
the
extent.
lack of a human intervention is what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
To some extent, I think it's true
Okay.
because I have tried writing scripts on AI and
Haven't we all? All my emails recently replies are not done through ChatGPT. They are all my perfection. I think first AI was done by Sanjay Dutt in Vastav. He's like, AI, 50 tola, 50.
and then what's the song that he sang? I.
Also, I think in the dialogue he says, "Hey ma," but for the benefit of this joke, we will say AI.
First, it was done by Govinda.
What did he sing?
Oh no, it doesn't. Sorry guys, this joke didn't land at all. We did not rehearse this. See, this is how you all know that we don't rehearse our shit.
Okay, but tell me more about Ghibli.
There's this artist
Right.
whose forte is that type of drawing.
So how does AI play into this then?
People have fed ChatGPT the prompt
like
saying that
have fed AI's his art.
Yeah.
And now they're like
converting their
on
normal
that.
pictures into Ghibli
But
art.
I don't know why Ghibli is making headlines because this has been the talk of creators right from the get-go.
Okay.
Because AI technically is learning from something that's already available out there on
Correct.
the internet. For example, a thumbnail for Weekend Brain is
Correct.
already out there.
Correct.
It is kind of feeding into what machine learning is learning, right?
Correct.
So why does this particular one make a difference?
I think the uproar here is that first it was only to a certain artist that people were like, AI is taking over our jobs, AI is taking over our jobs, AI is taking over job. Now it affects a really big company. And then they're like, see, if that can happen, if they can steal that art, then what about us? And I think it's more about just like creating and recreating art without the permission of the
original artist
itself, and the artist being so against AI from the get-go.
What do you think about what's the Twitter AI, Grok AI?
I am not on Twitter because my Twitter account got hacked and then I never got it back and I cannot join Twitter anymore. So I
Your
don't know
Twitter
what's
account is so whoever's like a Samantha F on Twitter is not you.
It's not me. It's not
Or
me.
X,
Just
rather.
know.
It's
yeah.
your ex.
Yeah, it's my ex.
But apparently Grok AI is something that they're building on which has a personality. So you can have it reply to you in a sarcastic tone.
I've seen
Yeah.
memes and stuff
which
of
is
it.
interesting.
Yeah.
Did you see Dhruv Rate's recent post about Grok AI?
No.
This is not going to sit very well with our current government. But apparently a lot of things that they've asked is all like in favor of Congress. So I think Rahul Gandhi owns Twitter. I mean, that's the only explanation, right?
Speaking of this, when AI does get cocky and suppose it starts cracking jokes on parents and our politicians, what do you think will happen? What will break? will they break their own computer? Phone pe dekha, phone hi tod do main.
Yes, exactly. I think you should do that because that makes perfect political sense, right? As at least currently by the constitution of our country, we are allowed to break things because it comes from emotion.
Yeah.
So we're allowed to do these.
It's
things.
heartbreak.
Yeah. Talking since we're on this topic of like what's been happening in our country over the past few weeks, what if I was a stand-up comedian and I wanted to crack jokes on dangerous topics? Could I just say,
Yeah.
"Mata aa gayi, mere upar mata aa gayi." You claim the consciousness of someone else.
Like that guy, na, the Gujarat accident guy who wanted to get out of it, and
he's
he was
like,
like,
Om
"One
Namah
more
Shivaya,
round.
bro, Om Namah
One
Shivaya,
more round."
because
I was
Nikita,
like, yeah.
Nikita's the new
Nikita,
Chavez.
वो मेरी Nikita, अरे तुमको acting करना है, बराबर से तो करो ना यार.
She's judging his acting skills in that video. Wow. But in all honesty, what if you kind of claim that
That I was
was
possessed.
not me?
Yeah.
Like you do a little like science. What is it called? Seance.
Seance. Sans.
Sumsam. What does seance sound like a Catholic girl's name?
It is a Catholic girl's name.
It is?
Seance.
Say.
Ans.
Seance. Okay. Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, or the fucking Luigi board or Ouija board or whatever. Like
Luigi board.
No, not the Mario one.
Luigi is also that guy who shot the.
The good-looking dude.
Yeah.
Because if you're good-looking, everything is forgiven. Yeah? The world is with you. But coming back to stand-up comedy, what if you like just say like, you know, this is not me now. Arnold Madeira is leaving this body and someone else has entered this body. Some ex.
Mera Yeshu,
Yeah.
Yeshu.
Or whoever, like, you know, someone in the past, like Hitler, I don't know. Like Hitler, they may shoot you point blank onto this only. So it's like someone, Jawaharlal Nehru, like and he cracks this joke and end of the skit, like he leaves your body. Then who they can get angry on?
They will still be angry with Nehru. Like,
But then they can-
50 साल पहले नेहरू ने क्या किया था? They'll do that.
Yeah,
only.
but then they can't go and break Nehru's house, na. At least your house is safe and the
But you
studio
don't
that
know
you're
now. You
performing
don't know.
isn't
They'll be like,
safe.
how did you allow him to enter your body without consent? Nothing can happen. They'll break you then.
But
because your body
without
is his
consent,
temple.
without consent, things happen in our country. It's allowed.
That's what I'm saying. No, they
Like how that money entered that lawyer's or the judge's house. It was not he said, whoa, what is this?
We're
I don't know
a
where
very
this come from.
hypocritical country. I hope you realize that.
What? No, we're not hypocritical. No way.
We're hypocritical as humans, like you said, like the Luigi example of Luigi. Like I just said that he did something revolutionary, but then there was Jeffrey Dahmer, where people were like, "Oh my God, Jeffrey Dahmer!"
Like because he was I don't think it was Dahmer.
Ted Bundy.
Ted Bundy. Yeah, I was like, imagine someone like you're excited because he's eating people. I'm sure he had a fan following.
Yeah, he
but
did.
But it
also,
must have been
yeah.
a different kind of eating that they were after. But yeah, Ted Bundy also. You're right.
Yeah.
Good looks are everything.
So, like, where does our conscience lie? Like, where do we cross the line?
It's pronounced Constitution.
Let it go, Arnie. Let it go.
Okay, let's take it back a little. Now you're okay with using ChatGPT to answer emails. A lot of people say that is also kind of taking out the human element in it.
I made a reel a few weeks ago, I think, where it speaks about corporate jargon. Like where you are a normal student who's come out from TY and then you have to write
How do you
corporate
know?
emails. You don't
Yes.
know. Like how do you say fuck off Karen in a nice way?
But also coming back to the last generation, like the 25-year-olds are in corporate jobs right now.
Correct.
A lot of their emails are not very corporate. The whole structure of corporate is also changing.
Okay.
Like for example, a lot of out of office emails when you're out of office, the auto replies that go on. A lot of the new generation, what are they? Gen Z. I've lost
Gen
alphabets. Gen Z. Their out of office emails are like, you know what? Hey, I'm on leave. I don't regret it as much as I would love to say.
Oh, so
that.
basically
Yeah,
it's
it's
like a
very
very tongue-in-cheek
casual.
type.
It's a very
Yeah,
casual
okay,
thing,
okay.
which is accepted now.
I think that's a nicer way.
I feel it's great.
Yeah.
I feel it's great because we are not in that world where everyone is suit, tie, and this
Correct,
and we're
correct.
not living in that world
Correct.
anymore. And most corporate structures are changing. So, in that scenario, I feel when these things are being accepted, you going down the route of preparing your email on ChatGPT is kind of going against that. Most of my emails are not ChatGPT as much as I kind of joke on this show. I'll tell you why. Because a lot of emails in my company, I've developed this thing where this has become my niche, where at the end of my email, I kind of give them content recommendations to watch because I watch a lot of content. So that became my thing. Like now, whenever they get an email from
They
Arnold,
look forward
they look forward
to
to that.
opening that
And
email.
also, my email is very, it's like not greetings of the day or whatever, salutations to you, nothing like that. It is very like, hey.
Salutations, sire.
Yeah. It's very hey.
Yeah.
So I think the more you don't use ChatGPT and go down the Gen Z route, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but they probably have a point.
Every new generations, we were also
Yes.
like someone's
Yes, Gen
Gen
Z,
Z, right?
Gen Z.
And
Yeah,
people
yeah,
were
yeah,
like,
yeah.
kya chutiya, kya
Yeah,
kuch kaam nahi karte
yeah,
log
yeah,
and all of that.
yeah.
But I feel every new generation brings a new, lays new cards on the table and
Yes.
brings some change for the future. I don't know what Gen Alpha and all are going to do with their skibbity toilet and all. Like, they'll be like, hey, skibbity, you. I don't know what
See,
their terms are.
In this distant future, right, you realize that Gen Alpha's language and AI's coding will become one. Like ones and zeros, because skip is 1 0 beep 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 pop 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 beep beep pop pop. We are slowly becoming one. You don't realize that. That's what's happening in the distant future.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Gen Beta will be beta testing, and then then the last
And
one
then
will
we'll become
be
Beti.
no, that's
Gen
also not
Beti.
allowed in our country.
Why, Annie? Please stop.
But have you seen Russell Peters' last stand-up?
He's still standing
He's
up.
still standing up. He's still standing up. His last performance on his YouTube channel is his last performance in Abu Dhabi.
His last performance ever. That
No,
means.
not yet. If he actually dies after this, I'm going to bite my tongue. Anyway, Russell, we really love you. Russell, nobody going to get hurt real bad. But anyways, he performs in Abu Dhabi and he sees all these Arab men. And he's like, and they were, of course, it's Dubai, right? So you have a lot of expats also. So a lot of the white people were taking the front stage. He's like, good to see a lot of white people and people in white. So anyway, the reason I've come back to that is he talks about different generations and he says that a lot of the reasons we get pissed off with the next generation is our fault. I agree. I get pissed off with a lot of shit that your generation does. Like, go get a job. Yeah, I have a job. What do you do? Like, I open boxes on the internet and I tell them what is in the box. It is called an unboxing. He's like, that's a job? To me, that sounds like weird. But what did we as our generation, as in his generation said, I don't want my children to suffer the way I suffered.
Correct.
So we have done that to the
Correct,
next
correct,
generation.
correct,
So they
correct,
don't know what suffering is.
Correct.
So I think that, I mean, jokes aside, that brings a very valid point to the next generation.
Talking about this, very weird segue, but this, I don't want my children to suffer the way I suffered, reminded me of Adolescence. Have you watched that show?
Loved it.
So
Please, by the way, if you all
Yeah.
haven't, please do yourselves a favor and watch it.
I will say that it is a very heavy show. Also, it's not a very linear show, like not your very everyday type of a show. So there's no like definitive start, middle and end. So a lot of people might not like it because there's no definitive end.
Structure.
Yeah, structure to the show. But keep that in mind and watch it. It is so interesting and it's scary. Maybe AI can reach there someday, but we don't know how that's going to happen or what it's going to pan out in. But parents especially watch it to know what's happening in your kids. That show reminded me like how we feel the disconnect between the Gen Alpha, their lingo. It scared me a little bit because that's what was happening
Even
in the...
we being the closest generation, even though not the same generation, do not know what the lingo is.
Correct.
Like they speak about lingo in even the color of the emoji that you use.
Yeah,
right? One of the
yeah,
small things.
yeah.
We don't know what that
Yeah.
is, but that is a proper language that's being
like I am now scared if I send a purple heart to someone, like does it have a different meaning? Like
show up at your doorstep like, what?
Like, what the hell?
That was not consent, but you sent me a purple heart.
It's so strange. Like it scared me. Just watch it. Also, it's fabulously shot. They're 4 episodes, all one shots. Immense actors, like immense teamwork.
I think that is given very less credit. A lot of people are already speaking about it on the internet, but each episode being one shot scenes.
Yeah.
Imagine that last 20 seconds someone fucks up.
Yeah.
And then you have to do the whole thing again, which I'm sure they must have experienced.
They have done.
But just knowing that at the back of your head that these are all one-shot scenes, each episode one-shot scenes is brilliant. If you do like Adolescence, please watch Defending Jacob on Apple TV and Presumed Innocent. Another 2 really great shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Content recommendation. We don't need AI to recommend content. Just like get to us.
This is my AI. But yeah, I like you said, like, parents saying, like in that the father says, like, my father used to beat me. I didn't beat my kids because I didn't want that to happen to them. But where did I go wrong? What did I do wrong?
He lied. He didn't beat the kids because child protection became such a big thing. If he wanted to, I'm sure there were days where he was like, Teri maa ka. Come on, think about it. I think in that sense, India is a little advanced. I think kids need an ass whooping.
Sometimes, yeah.
You cannot.
I think-
I like to be politically correct and like, no, my God, like, you know, I
No,
want
I
my
think
kids.
one,
I think
that
kids
one,
need an ass
one
whooping.
chamat,
Yeah.
I also agree.
And
with
I am
that.
saying this from someone who has got an ass whooping in the past. And I think a lot of the credit to what I am right now is because of that ass whooping.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
of course.
No, see, I also feel like it depends person to person how you take it, right? Like in the context of Jamie's dad, he's like, my dad used to beat me up, like come home drunk and beat me up and this and that. But he didn't realize that he's not beating his child up, but then there's anger everywhere. Like he's coming and he's saying he broke the garage and it was funny to me. We laughed and my parents sent me upstairs. Like for you, it's good. For some other people, it's like, it's so scary. Like I know someone else who even if you do this now will like
flinch
because
but then you
thinking-
also have to, sorry to cut you off, but you also have to, the problem there is not the ass whooping, the problem there is alcoholism. You can't beat your kid when you're out of your mind.
Correct.
That's the problem.
Correct.
So it's not the ass
So again, like AI, where do you draw the line?
at alcoholism.
You say you can hit your child, but then that also gives a leeway to a parent, like where he comes home or she comes home drunk and she's having a bad day and then whoops the child because okay
Abuse.
she thinks So
Yeah.
it's a very fine line to dance between, and I think a lot of people need to start understanding this. There was another debate that I was watching, and it was a pretty decent debate for a news channel where they were talking about
Indian news channel?
Yeah, Indian news channel.
What?
Adolescence, the show, and they were like, how does it impact? Like that's where this guy said, like, you know, he said that I don't want my children to face what I faced. In that, what parents today don't realize is that in that want of giving their children everything, they forget how to say no, and saying no is not wrong.
Yes.
You can say no to your child.
What is that saying that David Goggins says that
Look once again. Look at us, two child-free children talking about how
of
to parent.
course, because see, when you're curing cancer, you don't have to have cancer yourself.
Oh shit!
Okay? I'm just saying.
Ouch! I did not see that coming. Neither did AI.
You have these chutkule insights to give. Partake in it. I forgot where I was going also with this.
Thank God.
No, David Goggins. David Goggins says that strong men create comfortable lives create weak children, then weak children create...
Oh, it's a circle.
It's a
vicious circle.
So
Correct.
our parents went through hardships,
Correct.
like war or whatever back in the day. Their grandparents.
We also went to go through hardships. We have to cross our roads every day. Our broken roads.
Let me just state, I went away from this topic, but my partner here has brought me back to... See, this is not... You're not understanding this, Sam. I know a lot of people complain about dust and all of this. No. Like how every country prepares for the Olympics. We are making our country liable for the next Dune shooting. You know, you got to go deep.
This is actually a conditioning.
Yes,
you're right.
this is conditioning,
I
because
see the vision.
What's his name? Chamlet?
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy Chamlet is coming to shoot Dune 44
Yeah.
because we are ready.
Yeah.
Like Dubai, hold my beer.
No, I think the next country to reach Mars or like put people on Mars is going to be India. So that's
See?
why they're training us for that.
See?
Like, you know, the terrain on Mars is exactly like what is outside our houses
You're
today.
not seeing it the right way, guys. All you people who are complaining on the internet, come on, give ourselves a chance.
Yeah.
Right? We are preparing for the future.
Yeah.
AI is very 30. We are 2050, bro.
But yeah, coming back. So I realized with Google, right? Like when we were in school, we didn't have Google. But then when we grew up and like Google became a thing, you could just search for anything
Yeah.
at the snap of your finger.
Yeah.
Technically, even Google is sort of AI.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Correct?
Where do you say it started?
Yeah, we got so everyday.
Searches.
Yeah,
Anything. Oh,
anything.
like
Just-
what do you boil eggs at? Like,
Yeah. Before my GK exams, now my mom used to make me read newspapers. When was the last time I read a newspaper? Because I can just Google something and know what.
When's the last time you've
answer.
seen a newspaper? Oh, yeah, actually, when I ate pav vada that day, it was there. It was there.
Why do you say pav vada? It's vada pav.
Can it not be pav vada?
It's vada pav. Guys, please let us know in the comments whether it is pav vada or vada pav.
Or whether both are also right. I am
think-
not saying they are both. It should not be mutually exclusive.
I am
You're
team
saying
vada pav.
I am
it's
team.
It's called vada pav.
I'm team whatever you feel like, guys. Because see, I'm very new generation. If you feel like a vada pav, you identify as a vada pav. If you feel like a pav vada, you identify as a pav vada.
Just because you're Goan, you want pav first. And then vada.
I think we'll have to cut this joke. I feel deeply offended by this attack on the minority calling me a pav.
Actually, minority cancels the attack because I'm also Goan only.
I'm not
So
going.
minus
I'm going to
plus
finish this
minus
podcast
make
and then go. I'm not going. Sorry. It's a very bad joke. Please, do not unsubscribe, guys. Have faith in us, please. What were you talking about? Sorry, go on.
I was talking about like I became so dependent on Google.
Google.
Like if you ask me like random GK questions now, I won't know. Do you think the same thing is going to become to the next generation when AI becomes so advanced that everyone's just like
Yes.
dependent on them and then we
Yes.
don't have a brain of our own?
Yes.
We are just
yes,
fucking
that's
empty
a-
vessels that
that's
make
a
more
very,
noise.
That's a possibility. You, like for example, right now also, okay, right? I'm sure you don't have a neural link that's connected to your brain right now. But if you keep your phone away and I ask you how tall is the Statue of Liberty, you don't know.
Yeah.
But if the moment your phone is in your hand, you know.
Yeah.
That's where we are. And Neuralink and all of that is going to basically is that your phone is going to be part of you. That's all that way. But we're already there. It's just an external part. It's an extension. And coming back to Mr. Musk, who I think is already AI himself, but he says that our phones are already an extension of us.
Yeah.
Because without our phones, we don't know so much. But with we do. So,
Correct.
You know, Musk's social awkwardness is he bionic? Like.
So the thing is, I feel like I used to not look up to him, but I used to like him like at one point in time. When
Yeah,
he
I
was
still
doing
like parts of him.
Yeah, and
Like
then
his
suddenly
forearm. Sorry.
suddenly I don't know what happened to him.
Okay,
like he
I
just
don't
like
know.
flipped a switch and
Yes,
became
talking
like
about this, I don't know where this happened. The last time I checked, he was getting Trump out of Twitter.
Correct.
The moment he bought,
Correct.
he's like, I'm banning
Correct.
Trump
Correct.
because fuck you.
Correct.
And I don't know what I seen. Suddenly he and Trump are best
friends.
What happened? And
Money?
how did they?
Money?
But how did they portray this to the public without being a hypocrite? Is my point. How did the public just accept this? Oh, this is the international version of Abhi Mera friendship cancel. Now he and I are friends. This is that.
yeah.
So when did I miss something?
Even I don't know. Even I probably missed this. Even Joe Rogan used to be so against Trump.
He was not against Trump. He would make fun of Trump and he would make fun of both. He always identifies as not a Republican, not a Democrat.
Okay,
but
now I feel like he's very just
that is because of the
pushing out-
podcast. Trump came on his podcast and who was the other chick?
I have no idea.
The Kamala.
Huh.
She said no. But for him, it's just money, right? At the end of the day, you don't really have an allegiance to a party.
Correct.
Whatever works in your favor,
Correct.
you have an
Correct.
allegiance to them.
Correct.
But my point is, Elon Musk was so against, like, I'm banning you from Twitter, and now they are best friends.
Yeah.
So, you know Andrew Schultz?
Yes.
He was on the Modern Wisdom podcast the other day, and he said, like, interviewer said, do you think this Trump-Musk bromance is ever going to end? So he draws, have you watched Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay, so he draws their comparison to Elon Musk is technically a South African, like originally from South Africa. He has money, he has technology, he doesn't have a lot of say politically in the political sense. So Trump is now that buddy of his, can get a few things done. Okay, like why he draws a comparison to Game of Thrones, there's this part where Cersei, who's the queen of the land, and there's this one guy called Littlefinger who she gets a lot of information from. I know. A lot of Littlefinger jokes here, but understand this. So Littlefinger knows a lot of information and all that, and Littlefinger's like, you know what, Cersei, knowledge is power. And Cersei has her 2 guards behind her. So she looks at him and she says, okay, guards, slit his throat out. And the guards just go to slit his throat and say, guards, stop. Guards, step back. And they step back. And she says, no, power is power. So in this, Trump, I think, is Cersei, where he has the power to make changes and stuff and to adapt administrative stuff. But Elon Musk doesn't have that. He has money. And that's where this It's a
Marriage of
convenience until someone else comes along. But I feel we are at that stage when, horse carts were going out and gas cars were coming in.
Very interesting that you brought it up, because I was reading something last night, and this female said, like, it was a blog that I was reading about AI. She's like, we had charcoal pencils, we had brushes, we have had cameras, and then we had Photoshop. When Photoshop came, people were like, oh no, photographs are
What is a photo?
How can you use Photoshop to enhance a photo of there's no skill then in your photography. But we forget to realize that all of these came and went, but the one thing that was always constant was a human hand, a human touch to it.
Correct.
So maybe instead of villainizing AI so much, maybe, like, I don't know, I could be wrong in the future, give it a chance. You never know that you'll always need that human touch to steer AI in whatever direction you want it to go. People said this about digital painting also. People were like, oh no, I don't.
It's not a painting.
Yeah,
it's not a painting.
it's not a painting. A painting is only with hands. But no, digital painting is there. Again, you need someone to draw that, right?
So what you're trying to say is AI is like a dildo.
Oh shit, I see where you're going.
Why are you saying oh shit? It's a proper analogy, right?
Please please humor us.
Are never going to compete with a dildo. What the dildo does to her, in your million lives, you will never be able to do that to her. Fact. What you can do is work parallelly with the dildo. Now you all are all three friends. You're happy, she's happy, dildo is just there to like make both of y'all happy. Correct? AI is dildo, guys. That's the bottom line of this podcast, is what we've come to.
Yeah.
If you all have been using dildos, do not
हमारी
mock
मारेगा,
AI.
तुम्हारी मारेगा, सबकी मारेगा ये dildo AI.
मतलब AI को dildo do. That's it. I think we can end at this. No?
I want to know what thought
Provoke.
was behind AI ko dildo do.
AI. No,
AI ko dildo.
I don't want to say it loudly. It's
AI
going
ko
to very.
dildo do.
It's going to very dark places. Dildo pagal hai.
Dildosti dance.
Dildo na coffee. What is
Dalgona coffee.
Shit, it was so close. I think AI will do great in India in the future. I think India is the stage right where telling the world you never know what their next move is. We are at that stage.
I was telling Jeremy the other day, we were having this conversation about how no one after the US has landed on the moon, whether it's a conspiracy or not. But no one has landed on the moon, and why has no one landed on the moon? So I was like, I have a feeling that the next person to land on the moon will be Indians only, because we are the type of people who do everything in Sumudi, and then suddenly we go.
The hustlers, the hustlers, bro.
We'll be like, "Arey alpha, we landed on the moon."
मैंने तो वीजा कब का निकाला था, वो टिकट नहीं आया था.
I think if Indians land on the moon, it's going to be hilarious. We will start selling khakra, fafda, jalebi, vada,
We will
pav
be
vada.
ready there. We will be ready there.
Yeah.
We will be ready there for the first. Actually, we'll be ready on Mars, I think.
I think the Gujaratis, if the Gujaratis go na,
Yeah,
because
y'all are the real
they
hustlers.
love their food.
Gujaratis, I think y'all are the real hustlers.
They take their thepla, you meet a Gujarati anywhere when you're traveling, they will have food.
Yeah,
if you
I
are
agree.
hungry, find a Gujarati.
I agree.
I love them because they have food. So if they go on the moon, they're definitely going with all of this food. So your chai tela, we cannot say chai tela. Sorry.
Oh.
Yeah.
Very bad. You can't say, huh?
Yeah.
This New Zealand studio will break down of us.
Yeah. In New Zealand, I start doing the hakka.
Only noodles you can have. That too have given by Baba Ramdev.
Okay. I think we should end this podcast here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let us know what your thoughts about AI are in the comments below, whether you
AIR.
resonate.
It's the way I are, bro. See those mad beats? Who needs AI? Yes, please follow us on Instagram as well. We have an Instagram page.
Yes.
We have, and if for some reason you are already following us on Spotify, you know what? We're on YouTube, guys. Please follow us on YouTube. Subscribe and share these weekend thoughts with most of your friends and family over fafda and tepla.
We will see you next time. Stay tuned for our next episode. That will be Anadi Khiladi.
We'll be playing games with each other. No dildo included.
Ai.
Bye.